back.
And we're back. I like how we always start our episodes as if we just came back from a break. And we're back.
I like to imagine it just one 6-day commercial break. The rest of your life is just a break. The Cavalry is the only living you're doing. This is an exciting one, though. We're very excited for this show. We have the hilarious Greg Warren on the show as our guest. So funny, amazing comedian. What's up, Greg?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Fantastic.
We
just covered
good.
that before we started recording.
But, I'm a professional.
Yeah. We were talking about
broadcaster.
how great our respective podcasts are. Greg, you have a podcast about crossword puzzle solving.
Yeah, Andrew, it's the comedy crossword podcast, and what we've decided is the podcast is really not it's not tailored enough towards comedy to make anybody that likes comedy interested in it, and it's a little too much of lightweight for the people that really are into crosswords.
Well,
so
that's the okay. So I remember talking.
That's a good plug.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great sell. I remember talking to you about crosswords when we were working together, and you're good. You're better than I am. I pay for the Sunday, or not the Sunday. I pay for the New York Times app, the crossword app.
Yeah.
And I'm like Monday through Wednesday, pretty. I'm definitely can finish those.
Yeah.
And Thursday rolls around, and it's like a 30% proposition. Then Friday, Saturday, it's lower than that, and then Sunday it's just if you have enough time, right?
Right. Yeah.
But like, how good have you gotten? Like, really
I've gotten a lot better at crosswords. My partner Brendan Ayer, who's really a funny comedian, is way better than me at crosswords. He's like a genius. Like, he rarely misses. I think he probably averages missing maybe one puzzle a month.
Oh my God!
And I can get now. I mean, I'm on a pretty good run. Like so for the month of February, what are we? The 22nd. I think I've missed 2 puzzles.
That is better than I remember.
I've gotten a lot better.
That was a couple years ago.
I saw you a couple years ago. I mean, I still have bad days. I'm not sure if that translates.
You sound like a professional athlete after a game. I've been on a great tear here lately. Everybody has bad days, but
yeah, you got to be hard on yourself, Andrew. I mean, you can't. I don't want to be complacent.
No, but it is.
I've Michael Jordan of crossword puzzles here.
No, you're not. You're not. Like, I would say, you're talking to like a.
I'm not going to.
Here comes a sports reference Johnny's not going to get.
Well, you would get it. I would say maybe like because I can't pick a name because I'm not good enough to be. I would be like a guy that might have made the varsity basketball team in high school of crossword puzzles. Yeah.
All right, I can follow that reference.
Yeah,
there you go.
Did not get a look from a D3 school or anything like that.
Oh, and you lost me. All right.
Yeah, sorry, man. I knew I was going to lose you there. I was just showing off. Yeah.
So are the crossword puzzles? Are they hard like Jeopardy questions, or is it like Wheel of Fortune easy?
It's a weird thing, man, because you think it's all about whether you know the answers to the questions or not, but it more becomes, do you know, sort of anticipate how they think. Like, you don't have to know much trivia. You just sort of have to figure out how crossword cruciverbalists, as the people that build the puzzles, how they think, and you just sort of get used to the way they think. And then it's more of a puzzle than a trivia contest. Yeah,
that is true. Like, it's almost like knowing the actual trivia is cheating. It's like if you just were like a genius and you like knew your history and geography and everything, like the crossword puzzle itself, it's like you start to see patterns if you do enough of them over and over and over again, and you can get better at them without actually retaining any of the knowledge. That's what I find so frustrating, is like I'll see a question or a clue from I want to get the terminology right, from like one that I did 2 months ago, and it's totally vacated. I know that I filled that in the last time, and I still cannot retain.
I'm right with you, man. Yeah. I mean, we do try to write jokes about I go through all the clues and try to write jokes. So I do every now and then, like, so like, hey, you try to have some sort of curiosity, be like, well, who is that person? And then I'll go look on Wikipedia. So
Yeah. See, that's what I don't. I just okay.
that's the average.
Smithfield. All right.
Yeah.
I'll never remember
they're
that.
insane though. Like I think now that I think I probably need to take back what I said. I may have been like make the freshman basketball team because like some of these people, like Brendan does them all. Like he's genius level at it, but these people do them in like, there's people that do the Saturday puzzle in like 5 minutes or something.
Well, I know that's the thing. I've kind of looked into the world of like online of crossword cruciverbalists. Cruciverbalists, of course. I've looked into the
puzzle builders, actually.
Oh, okay. So what do you call the puzzle solvers?
Dorks, nerds, losers.
Well, I've looked into the world of dorks, nerds, and losers, and you're right. It isn't a matter of can they solve it. It's like how quickly. So it's all like, look, and they'll post on Instagram. They'll post their time. And the gold, that's when you know you did it. At the New York Times, if it's in gold, not in like blue.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like 4 minutes, 52 seconds. Like, wow, I did it so fast. And it's like, if I could just finish a Saturday, I would be so happy.
Oh, I still am really proud of myself when I finish a Saturday. Like way too. And with the pandemic, like it's really.
Oh, I know.
Some weeks it's the only thing I have to cling to. You know, it's. Yeah.
Is this a cry for help?
No, because no one's coming, Johnny. No one's coming.
Well, like so.
We should start another podcast where we do word finds because that's more my speed.
Yeah.
We could do one about the game at the bar where you what's different. Like
what's the diff?
The two pictures.
Yeah.
Like, Saturday there was a really interesting what's the diff?
I think it might be more successful than our podcast.
Well, we go for more of a lowbrow crowd, you know.
That's the thing. We're too lowbrow for the crossword people and too highbrow for the comedy people, because the thing about the New York Times crossword puzzle is like, if you haven't done it a lot, the Monday puzzle is hard. Like, just for somebody to pick it up, you'll be like, well, this is not easy, you know?
Well, it's a whole language. There's all these weird acronyms and shortenings and things you don't see in everyday life that you're just supposed to know, and they don't explain in the puzzle. There's no or like the fact that, you know, Thursdays is always some insane trick or something, or
and I used to
weird
get furious about those
game.
And then,
yeah, but they don't tell you.
No,
they don't tell you anything.
Nobody told. I had to hear from a friend that like, Thursdays are the trick ones.
Yeah, it's like a secret world.
Actually, that puzzle behind me, that was the first puzzle published in the New York Times, first New York Times crossword puzzle. It's a replica of it. And I learned this. They did that when Pearl Harbor was bombed. They basically wanted to do something to take people's minds off of the fact that Pearl Harbor was bombed. So they introduced a crossword puzzle.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah, that's how they started Sudoku during Vietnam.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go with what, you know, they started Sudoku and, you know, to celebrate Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah. But yeah, so that would be that's the first one behind you. You'd know you'd get really bored if you had to actually break into that and solve that one. That's like the last resort.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's like in case, you know, something we get a blackout or something like they had down in Texas. I do have, it's like you can use like a little marker, I think.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to just Google the answers, or is
no?
That
Brendan and I our rule is you cannot speak to anybody about any of the clues. You cannot Google anything. If you happen to come across some piece of information during the course of the week, you know, then of course it's
okay.
It's a code of honor, Johnny.
All right.
I mean, I do want to say, as unsuccessful as our podcast is, it is an honorable podcast.
Yeah. And
You guys are like
all that matters.
knights.
Yeah.
Knights of the card table.
Yeah. One down, I should probably say. That's the name of the podcast. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Plug it, please. On our
I've almost given up, but yeah, one down is the. It's I swear it's good. I swear it's funny, but it's.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's
so
fantastic.
You guys been okay, man? You doing all right?
Surviving. I
Yeah.
mean, if it wasn't for this podcast, to me, is what your crossword puzzles are for you.
Yeah. Okay,
during this
good.
Pandemic. It's all I have to look forward to.
Well, I'll try to take it more seriously then.
And Johnny and I have a code of honor too, where we don't prepare well at all for this podcast. We don't research anything.
Yeah.
We don't look into our guests. We learn nothing
right.
about you before you
Good.
come on.
Good, man.
Yeah,
this
we
is
really
my type of show.
take it as lackadaisically
Yeah.
as possible.
Trust each other.
But
We trust that neither of us will do any research.
I cheat. The only thing I cheat on is spelling. Like if I know the answer and I just like I can't help myself but to make sure I've spelled it right.
That's not
that-
honorable.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our guest's name. Like the only research I do is the spelling of our guest's name.
Greg Warren. What the hell? How do you spell Greg Warren?
You know what? They spelled my driver's license wrong recently.
Oh, really?
How?
Well, I mean, there's
Double
two
G?
ways. They shorted me an R. Warren. They made me Warren. Yeah, and so either I misspelled my name when I was writing it down, or I don't know what. And then I finally took it back to get it fixed, and they charged me for that error. Yeah, I had to pay.
My God.
Yeah.
Did they? Does that cause problems? Like if you have a misspelled driver's license, does anyone care? Like if you go to the airport or whatever, do they say
The
something,
airport
or?
is the only one. That's how I found out. I think I was at the airport and I was like, "Hey, I gotta." Then they're like, "You don't have a reservation," and I'm like, "Yes, I do." And then yeah. So
They like-
no, really, I voted as Warren. You know what? In all honesty, I lived a much better life as Warren. I was yeah.
How long were you wearing?
I mean, I think probably a couple of years, maybe a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's how lazy I am. I didn't want to go.
Well, no, if it's not, I wouldn't have changed it if it's not causing you any problems.
Well, yeah,
wife
the
would-
airport. I had a passport, so that that didn't really cause me any problems at the airport. But
When my wife got her license renewed, they were like, "Oh, you need your marriage certificate," and she was like, "Oh, I don't have it." And I'm like, "Well, you have to get it, otherwise, we have to put your maiden name." And she was like, "Psh, I'm not getting back in line." So her name basically got changed back for about a year and a half. She go back with her marriage certificate.
she would have been like, "Well, this means you legally have to be separated from Johnny." It was like, "I told you I wasn't getting back in the line." Okay, I don't know how more clear I
I
could.
thought I made it clear.
Yeah.
So when she would go to the airport, she would have to bring her current ID and then her expired one with a hole punched in it to show them, "Look, this is me."
I'm the
I've,
former
uh,
Mrs. Beaner.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I've been working on a bit about it, but I never have the stuff. Like I'm not good with important documents. I just don't have them. Like
Yeah.
I just don't have them. They're always and the DMV wants a bunch of them. You have your social security card. No, I don't. I remember seeing that in a baby book, I think, and then birth certificate. I had to, when I was 10, I know that we had to bring it to prove I was 10 to be in a 10 and under wrestling tournament. And then it was on the kitchen table and I see it with mustard on it. And that was it. And I haven't seen it since. I own a condo. Not sure I could prove it. And then this really happened. All this stuff is pretty true, but my car title, I called them up,
Yeah.
somebody's, I haven't had that. And I paid off the loan a while back, and I don't have it. And then I kind of was looking around. I'm like, man, maybe I should have that, I guess. And so I called them, and they're like, yeah, we sent that to you, like real, like kind of. I'm like, I'm sure you did, but like I said, I don't have it. Like I'm not arguing with you. I just, how do we get another one?
When my daughter was born, they don't just give you a birth certificate. I've found out you have to mail in all this stuff and then give them $25, and then they'll send you a birth certificate in the mail. And there was the option to get multiple, but each one you get is another $25. And I was like, I would do her such a favor right now if I just got her like 10 birth certificates.
Man.
I mean,
that would be more than a savings bond.
And hid them, like put one at my parents' house and put one at
brilliant.
I didn't do it.
You should have. Yeah, because you got to. I mean, I
got one because I was like, it's $25 a pop. I don't want to spend.
I have had to call several times
the
county that I was born in and be like, hey, can you reissue? I wish I could just get on a program where they, just auto deduct $25 a month and send me one.
A subscription to your birth certificate.
Subscription to my birth
one of those
certificate.
box services. You get like a cool box with your social security card and your birth
certificate.
The Greg box.
Yeah.
Well, like last time I was at the airport, I showed them my ID. It was just a domestic flight, so regular ID. And then the guy was like, "Oh, you need, like, come October, you're gonna need the upgraded ID. You're gonna need a better ID than this." Like,
they call it like a real ID or something.
Real ID, this, not like this piece of shit.
Yeah, this
ID
thing you got from the cereal box doesn't fly.
But I got the ID. So I moved to Oregon like not that long ago, and I got the ID like 6 months ago. I was like, this ID is very new. Are you sure that this is not one of the? He's like, no, this won't work.
My state's like that too, man. I think my state. There's only a few that didn't have the real ID.
Yeah,
we've been living a sham this whole time.
You had all this time to get the new machines.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those too. I've been informed. Yeah.
Where are you, Greg?
St. Louis. Yeah.
Okay.
Missouri. Yeah, we're backwards. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you in that? So you didn't get any of that Arctic storm, like the crazy cold weather? Did you miss that?
Yeah, I got some. Yeah, we got some. I mean, nothing, like Texas where they shut it down. But I happened to be. I was working in Oklahoma during it, and they got. They canceled a show, and it was. I was in Oklahoma for a couple of days where. Everything was shut down, so I was eating like the only thing that was open was like truck stops. I was feeling horrible. And then when I got back to Missouri, it was really, really cold, but nothing was dysfunctional.
Yeah, and Missouri's like you're used to that. Like that's not
for
Missouri to get really cold.
Yeah. I mean, we're Texas. I guess it has to do with they don't have their. I don't. The pipes aren't insulated, I guess. So they all burst.
Right. I was reading of Texas that's so horrible, but then also like the people who had power, they're on this crazy system where you pay real-time natural gas rates, and they give these. Everyone has like an app, and you can literally see how much your gas bill is like as you're using it. But because
of the price of gas is at the
but because the demand was so high, there was these like $13,000 gas bills. I mean, they have, and I was like, oh, that's a mistake. They'll, that's always like a clickbait headline, and you go, yeah, okay, and then it was a mistake, and they said they don't have to pay. No, they all gotta pay. They're like, that was what you signed up for. You gotta pay the $13,000. But they're talking about this one guy. He was like watching his bill go up, and it was like minus 2 degrees out or whatever, and he was like 3,000 for it, and he's like, I don't care. He's like, if I'm gonna go bankrupt, I'm cranking it up to 65. That was the quote.
So they're gonna hold him to it.
They're gonna hold him to it.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I mean, maybe there'll be some sort of emergency.
Something. Yeah. And they probably like. It's terrible that the natural gas company borrowed the technology from Uber to determine on like how much
surge pricing.
Yeah. Peak rate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Greg, so
great pre-show banter. Great,
fantastic.
We have different segments of the podcast, Greg. That was pre-show banter.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
We're gonna start recording now.
Okay.
And
Outstanding.
no, but do you have something you need backup on, Greg? Is there something?
Yeah, man. I have a few things, and they're flimsy at best. And I mean, I got to tell you,
No
that
such
sounds
thing.
right.
Andrew texted me this, and I was like, man, I never realized I was such a conformist because like all of my opinions are backed up by the masses. I'm
You're
I'm
right
a
down the
sellout.
middle.
I'm a sellout, man. I'm a nobody. But I've got a couple. One that's, I'll start with the most important one first. I don't think that the Fiji water is very good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Conformist.
I mean, and
You're bringing a flamethrower.
Oh, Andrew, I wish you would have done research on this guest. My God.
It's a high-end water, and I don't have any kids, or a family, and I am horrible with money. So like I will spend, and I also don't drink a lot of soda anymore. So I will spend whatever I want on water. So it's not an issue of the money because I do think Evian is worth every bit of it, and I like it. But I don't care for Fiji. I would, if I'm sitting with Ice Mountain versus Fiji versus Ozark, Fiji is number 3.
Wow.
I will
behind
take
Ozarka.
Yeah, behind Ozarka. And this has nothing to do with I'm in a state where the Ozarks are, but yeah, I don't care for it.
See, I thought you were going to say
I've given it several opportunities.
I thought you were going to say you don't think it's from Fiji.
Well, hey, man, I'm not going to
Is it from Fiji? Are we supposed to think it's from Fiji?
I think it is from Fiji. I don't know. I haven't read it.
It has to be.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's you guys
is
don't
Ozarka from the Ozarks?
Take on big water, man. I don't want to be part of that.
We don't want that smoke.
I don't care for it. But now you're starting to say that they're, I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, dishonest. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying whatever if it's coming from Fiji, something in the transportation is getting lost.
I mean, that is a long way to go to get
Sure.
to St. Louis, Fiji, and so maybe something happens on the transportation.
Well, and who's to say
no
Fiji
insult.
has the best water even from the starting point? Maybe Fiji water is just dog shit,
Yeah, I mean, but it's certainly not priced like dog shit. It's I mean, as waters go, I guess you would probably say Voss. Is it VOSS? I think it's
Ooh,
Voss.
wait, yeah, it comes in a glass bottle.
Yeah, that and don't care for that either. Don't care for that. That's like the A1, and then Fiji, I think, is right there with
as far as pricing goes.
Evian. Yes, pricing points. Yeah, Evian. I mean, I would take Fiji over the Aquafina and Dasani. Like, I don't want basically they just pour tap water in a bottle. I don't want that.
Rinse out a Diet Coke bottle and fill it up with.
Yeah. But as far as spring water goes, yes. So,
you know what I get? See, I'm impressed that you have such a palate for water, because I just go with the cheapest absolute, like the 7-Eleven brand or whatever it is. I have no interest. I always go.
Why
with
don't
the
you just go
cheapest one.
tap then?
Well, I do, unless I'm on the road.
7-Eleven
You know what I
water
mean?
is
like,
probably tap.
yeah. But
no,
I mean,
it definitely is.
the only time I'm buying water is at the airport or somewhere where I don't have access to it in the
So
car.
if you're in the
or something.
hotel working in a gig,
I'm drinking the hotel water.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just I don't know. I've got a taste for it now. I like it's all it's nothing about to do with health. I just really like the taste of Evian, man.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Since you bring up you drink the hotel water, did you see the Netflix documentary about the girl that went missing? They couldn't find her. It was at the Cena Hotel in Los Angeles or in Hollywood, whatever. And
no.
I have not seen this, but go ahead and finish.
You know where I mean, it's spoiler alert, but she was in the water, bin on the roof, and they were interviewing people like, yeah, it was brown and it tasted really weird and it was gross. It was like,
oh man.
You only need to hear one of those stories.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not drinking water from a hotel.
So somebody killed her and put her in the water thing?
Yeah, that's, I mean.
No, but isn't the whole point of the thing like they don't know how she could have
they don't
gotten
know
in
how. I
there?
mean, they do know this. Okay, you guys. I'm just gonna spoil this for you. If anyone's gonna watch this documentary, just don't listen to the next 5 minutes or next 1 minute. Sorry,
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah, how long are you going to go on about this?
So they say, okay, the lid was closed. Episode 1, they're like, yeah, they found her body in the bin, and the lid was closed. Obviously, there was foul play. So the whole series, like 8 episodes or whatever, is like, what's going on? This is so weird. And then in the last episode, they're like, oh, no, there was the lid. I'm sorry, the lid was open. She was bipolar. She had a manic thing, and she fell in herself. So it's like,
where is it?
I was
though?
upset because it's like, well, you can't say it was closed and make us be like, well, what happened? And then at the end, be like, it was open and she fell in. Because
that's
open, then you'd be like, well,
dishonest filmmaking.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's one where Sherlock Holmes would have nailed it right at the beginning. He'd be like, okay, she can't fit in that tank through that hole. Then the tank must have been open when she fell in.
Damn it, Sherlock. We're trying to do a documentary here that has 8 parts. You just made it a 1-part documentary. We get paid per episode. Would you shut up?
It in the teaser.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he would have to just not say anything and write something down on a pad, and then he'd show up at the end and go, see, this is what I told you all along.
Yeah.
Watson.
So yeah, man, I don't know if I did it right, but that was it's a take. One of my best buddies is a big Fiji guy, and it's something that I get into a lot of fights with him about it, and but he was kind of running down. Yeah, it's it's quite a few.
Volatile.
It's the guy that I do the road with, and so you're driving to gigs and you got a lot of time to talk, and there's a lot of water purchases going. So, but yeah, he was running down Evian saying it was not that good. And then he I don't know, finally, a couple of gigs ago, he's like, oh man, I didn't really know what Evian was. It's pretty good. I think he thought it was something else. I think he thought it was Ozark or something. Ozark is not a bad water.
Yeah, I mean, I buy whatever's. I'm with Andrew. I buy whatever's cheapest, and I don't think I can really. I don't think I could tell the difference unless I had them. Even if I had them side by side.
I think you could, man. You do yourself a favor, man. Pick up a bottle of Evian. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you like Voss? You say you don't like the quality, or you don't like the bottle?
I kind of like the bottle. I kind of like be like, hey, I'm
I don't like it when they give it to you like at a club, like, oh, here's a water to take on stage. And you gotta like figure. It's like you have a canister of plutonium on stage. Trying to drink it, it's all weird and awkward.
Yeah. Hey man, good job though, buddy. I mean, you're working gigs that are giving you Voss to take on stage. I think you're doing well, man.
Funny bone one time.
All right, Johnny.
And we're back.
We're back. We should put in a commercial break or something.
Yeah.
Hey, what if this show was successful enough to have commercials?
All right, just put a commercial for one down.
This may be what pushes it over the top. This episode is when you guys are gonna get that. I'm thinking probably. Well, it's not gonna be Fiji Water. Is not gonna sponsor this.
No, but maybe Ozarkia or whatever.
Ozarka. Yeah. I think this is more of an upscale. A Ford, Mercedes, maybe I'm seeing those car commercials.
Oh, yeah. The Cadillac of
podcast
commercials, Ford.
Yeah.
Hey Johnny, do you need? What do you got this week? What do you need back?
I do. I need backup. This is an ethical dilemma. Now, I have never lied to my wife. Proud of that.
Oh boy.
She would disagree. Do you think that it counts as lying if you buy like a big box of ding dongs and hide them in the basement, or like you hide food around the house? That's not lying, right?
No, I don't think so at all.
No. Especially if that's the scale we're talking about. Just like food items.
Yeah.
You're not going to like
food,
then escalate this to like, some sort of weapon or something?
No, hasn't escalated drugs or hookers or anything yet.
No. I mean, it's I don't think I'm not an expert or anything, but I don't think ding dongs are a gateway situation for drugs or hookers. You know,
And if they are,
Gateway
it's
to
such
dishonesty.
yeah. If they are a gateway, it's such a slow start that by the time you ramp up to like heroin or something, you're gonna be like 90 anyway.
Yeah. That's true.
So-
It is. Yeah, it's a sugary
Ding-dong,
slope.
Yeah.
It's a sugary slope. That's right.
I'm thinking though now, and this is not good, but if there were hookers in my house and drugs in my house and ding dongs in my house, the ding dongs would last the least. Like it would the ding dongs would be in the most danger of being consumed, I think. At this stage at this stage of my life, it's not good, you know. But
Hookers are checking their watches. Like,
yeah.
you sure you don't want to use? I would love. Nah, I'm gonna do one more ding dong.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
take
Candy,
a
you want to
nap.
get in on these ding dongs? I put some of them in the freezer. It's great. Do the ding dongs? I mean, I haven't had one in so long, man. But I remember when it was like actual aluminum foil, basically, that they would come in, and then it became more of like a aluminum foil colored packaging. But
Yeah, I think it's clear plastic now.
is it now? Yeah, man. There's something about those the old aluminum foil ones. It was great, man.
Yeah,
I
I
used
shouldn't have said ding dongs because I don't even like chocolate. So it's never ding dongs. It's what are they called? Zingers, Star Crunches. Have you got Star
zingers?
Crunch?
Like what are you going, like a vanilla zinger?
Vanilla with yellow,
or,
yeah,
or a
vanilla with
strawberry.
yellow.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they make strawberry zingers.
They did it one time. Again, I sort of been out of the junk food thing for a while.
He's
I
into
might have to
water
get some of
now.
those in my basement.
Yeah, now it's water mostly, but I had a real problem with some of that stuff for a long time, and there were strawberry zingers. I don't know.
I used
And
to love
Star
the Hostess.
Crunches. I think I know what that is. Yeah,
Star Crunch is like a round Nestle Crunch kind of, but it's just caramel and that ricey, weird, crunchy shit. But those definitely have gotten smaller because I went along, like I had those when I was growing up and then didn't, and I saw them in the grocery store and I was like, oh my God, I can buy these on my own. I'm an adult. So I got a big box. They were like way smaller than they used to be.
And where are you hiding them?
Oh gosh, laundry room, basement, office. There's a lot of different spots. I found a box that I forgot about 2 days ago, and I was like finding a 20 in your pocket.
Yeah. Whew. Let me ask you this, and again, I mean, I know what the podcast is about. I got your back on any one of those scenarios.
I feel supported.
Yeah. But are you hiding them because you don't want her to have any, or are you hiding them because you don't want her to know that you're eating them?
There is not a chance that she would eat them. If she found them, she would throw them out.
Okay,
so I'm
she's
hiding
disappointed in you.
them.
Okay.
So disappointment.
Yeah.
So I've hide them so she doesn't, do that. But also I have kids, and my son is he's like a gray, or what's the one with the good nose? Not a greyhound. Is it a greyhound? Who's the one?
Bloodhound.
Bloodhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a bloodhound. I'll eat something, and then I'll talk to him an hour later from across the room, and he'll be like, what is that? What do you have? You had candy. And I'm like, So I've never lied to my wife, but I lie to my son probably half the things I say to him.
Anyway, incidentally, you don't want to go to the dog tracks with Johnny because we're here betting on the bloodhounds. It's horrible race. They're all slow and they're all distracted by smell.
Yeah, they're going for the popcorn again. God damn it. Chase the rabbit. What is wrong with you? Nah, they found a bone there in the back. Yeah, no, I'm with you, John. I don't think that counts as lying. And that's like good-natured sort of sitcom lying, That's not like movie dramatic bad lying.
Exactly.
No, man. I mean, you're just
a guy trying to, get
Just
through a
trying to-
pandemic, have a couple zingers.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And you're trying to save her from you don't want her to have to feel all that disappointment on top of this
Right.
pandemic. It's a lot,
I'm doing it for her. You're right.
Yeah.
I like that angle.
Yeah. What other kind of stuff you hiding?
What other? I mean, it's literally all candy. The soda is. I don't drink a lot of soda, but when I do get one, that's a big disappointment. So I gotta keep that cold. So I hide that behind the almond beverage in the basement fridge.
Yeah,
but that always gets found. That's pretty much it. Soda and candy.
Soda and candy. The Vice.
Yeah, man. I think you're fine, man.
And Totino's pizzas, but those I don't hide. I just put them like in the back, and then when she's like, I saw Totino's pizza. That's like cardboard. Why? Those are so bad. And I'm like, every time I repeatedly play dumb, like, oh, you don't want me eating those? Oh, all right.
Oh, I thought they were healthy. I thought because of all these ones have green
colors.
Peppers on them.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, I thought these were good for you. I mean, the 10 for $7 threw me a little bit as far as the.
Did I buy those, or I thought you picked those up at the farmer's market from the? What? I can't remember. Oh, I must have grabbed those from the freezer at the 7-Eleven. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure those were local because that guy Totino, I thought
yeah. He's got his own little market.
Yeah. Well, I feel supported. Andrew, what do you got? Do you have anything you need backup on?
Yeah, well, I have one. I think you guys will be with me on this. So my wife had a baby. I don't know, Johnny, if you've heard, but my wife had a baby. And
what?
Yeah.
You're just bringing
so
it up now?
Well, I'll tell you about just bringing it up now. So this is my problem, is that when you have any sort of, and I hadn't, I'm a comedian, so I'd been to the doctor in so many years and hadn't had any medical bills really other than paying your insurance. And then I forgot about this, but it's so true. Like doctor's bills, they wait months before they drop them. They wait just until you'll forget that you're like, you're thinking maybe that was it. Maybe, that one we paid 2 weeks, that was like $300. Maybe that was the whole thing for the whole time in the hospital and the delivery and all. Maybe they just kind of forgot about it. I don't know. It's been months. I mean, how long? Is there a statute of limitations? Yeah. And, of course, they don't forget, and you get this giant bill that you totally weren't waiting, you weren't budgeting for anymore because you figured you were past it. So here's what I think. It should be like any other establishment, doctor's offices or hospitals. You should have the bill in your hand out the door.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Because then you're like, oh, well, they have to negotiate with insurance. It's like, no, these aren't like once in a million procedures. They know what the insurance is going to cover. Have the bill, whatever it costs. I should have it walking out the door. Any hospital, doctor's office. What about that?
I think even more than that, they should have a menu when you walk in, so you can
a menu would be fantastic, man. Yeah.
And you could do like the combos.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great, man. Because then they're like, we're gonna give you. We can't afford that.
Yeah, no.
He's not gonna be having
scissors. We'll
not
do
gonna
the
be having
umbilical
that.
cord.
Yeah.
That's
that's a great idea.
A menu's a great idea, and then you could tell whoever you're with. It's like the comedy club rules. Like you can order off of this half of the menu. only procedures for comedians in this corner here. You can get any of these.
Yeah, I think you have the same.
They're all named after wacky pregnant people. Here's the
Rita Rudner C-section.
You guys have a similar insurance plan that I have, I think. They break them into Olympic medals. It's a gold, silver, and bronze. And I'm bronze, and it's not Olympian in any way. Like it's the last place insurance is what it is. It's third out of 3.
It is. I'm on bronze too, and it's a misnomer because bronze implies like third best in the world.
Yeah.
Even the guy who gets bronze at the Olympics is like an amazing, incredible, dedicated athlete.
Yeah.
This is last place.
This is
Bronze.
a horrible, horrible plan. Yeah, this
This
is.
is
Yeah, this is.
this is the morbidly obese guy. If the gold is the high jumper, the person getting bronze cannot get out of their chair.
Well, no, this is. I wrestled in Little League, and I had this friend who was, kind of a fat kid, and I don't know, we were like 12 years old, and he was in the 170-pound or something like that, and there's only two other 12-year-olds that weighed 170, and he got third. He got a bronze medal every time, but he wasn't good. Like he
ate himself into medals.
Yeah. And I went to this podiatrist a few weeks ago, and I had surgery on my foot like 5 years ago, and I wanted to see the same guy. So, and I think I had gold or silver insurance back then. So I called the office, and they're like, I want to see Dr. Visser. And of course they're like, yeah, you've been here like 5 years. What's your insurance? And I told them, they're like, well, he doesn't take bronze. He didn't take bronze. Then the lady goes, but there's another guy in the office that does. I'm like, wait a minute. You have different people within the same practice that take different level. How do you decide which doctor sees the bronze people? I bet it's not who got the highest MCAT score, like that.
No, that would be funny around the office though. Like because these doctors have to hang out with each other, and the one is getting the broke patients. And
the Groupon people. Yeah,
the one with the sack lunch.
Yeah.
He's driving the busted Civic to work.
At best, he's just the new guy. Okay.
Right. If
yeah.
you're
At
lucky.
worst, he's like a terrible doctor that they were gonna fire, but they were like, just put him with the Bronzies. Who cares? But he's drunk all the time. So are they.
Yeah.
They have bronze level insurance, man. They're losers. Mostly comedians,
Yeah. I'm on the bronze plan, but my wife is on. It's at least silver. It's either silver or gold, because we definitely tried. We knew she was pregnant when we readjusted the plan, so we tried to put her up. She might be on the gold plan, to be honest with you. And it is kind of like, I kind of wish I had just gone on her, even though it would have been more money, because it feels like I'm valuing my life less than her now.
Yeah. Well, at least she's covered on the. And then, and how does it work with your child?
She's on.
Well,
bronze with you,
it's so complicated. Yeah, I put her on. I was like, if there's anything lower than bronze, we're trying to save a couple bucks. No, of course
There's the participation insurance here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that, man. I think I had worse than that. Before Obamacare came along, I remember it was when with all there was like I moved from LA to St. Louis, and I lost my insurance because it, I had to re-up. And I had like seen a therapist. This goes back to some of Johnny's issues, but I was like binge eating bad, and I think it was probably some form of depression. And I went and talked to a therapist about it a couple of times, and they asked on the thing, have you ever seen a therapist? I'm like, yeah. And they rejected me I couldn't get insurance because of pre-existing condition back then before Obamacare. So I got rejected for eating cookies and telling people about it or whatever. And so I got I had to get some like awful insurance. Basically, like all it is disaster insurance. You pay money.
That's what I had. Yeah, I remember having the it's a $10,000 deductible. I remember that, thinking like I would need so many bad things to happen to me.
Yeah,
to get. And it's like if you get hit by a truck, you gotta also like, I don't know, go in for. That's when you can get.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Looked at for cancer. Is you have to like.
Yeah,
okay.
You're hit by a truck and it's still not enough. You got to go.
Yeah. Can you run over one more time?
Yeah,
I don't think this is enough damage.
Get into another lane of traffic. That's
yeah.
Well,
no,
back in the day, sorry to interrupt, Andrew. Like you would when you got I got a comedy half hour from Comedy Central, you know, and they would pay you quite a bit of money, and you would meet the threshold where you would qualify for SAG insurance. So you'd have like good SAG insurance for a year, and the comics were just like getting everything done, man.
Right.
Everybody's like, all right, yeah, I'm going in for everything, man.
Yeah, I had that. And then they have then they have like this Cobra. They say, oh, don't worry, if that was what you used to be able to get if you didn't have insurance, was Cobra, and it was like $6,000.
Oh,
a
it's
month
so
or
expensive,
something,
man.
and they don't cover anything. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, thank
Yeah.
you for allowing me to buy this Cobra.
Cobra was when you were coming off of an insurance, and you could get your
Right,
old
that
insurance
yeah.
for 6
Yeah.
times. Yeah, Cobra. Yeah, you're right, man. It's insanely expensive.
I was like, now we're just talking about insurance, but we had this weird power surge here at my house in Portland and a bunch of stuff. So we've been like talking to the home insurance people about like replacing appliances and stuff. And they were like, but then like my neighbors were like, well, be careful before you make a claim, because if you use your home insurance, they might either raise your rates forever or never let you get home insurance again. I was like, so why do I have it? You know, like if you can just never do, like, don't use it, you know.
You get penalized if you use it.
Right.
Oh God, that's such a shakedown. God.
I know. And you have to have home. I mean, they don't even. It's not even like, I don't even remember choosing it. They're just like, this is part of your mortgage.
You're not going to
know?
want to use this, then you're going to be able to get it. Well, this seems a whole lot like a scam.
No, don't use. Please don't use that word.
Don't look
This
at it
is an ugly word.
That's
Scam.
an ugly word. Scam. We don't like that word around here.
But yeah, I mean, I like both your guys' ideas on the insurance. I like the menu. I like they hand you a bill. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Do you ever
Yeah,
get
'cause
those things
then
where they'll mail you something that says this is not a bill.
Yeah.
In 6 months, expect to pay roughly this amount.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This isn't a bill. This is a threat.
Yeah.
This is. I want you to
This
be
is
up
just to
at
ruin
night.
your day.
Right. Just think about this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got a bunch of those. I've been getting tested. I got like for a while I got tested for COVID every week. And
Because you thought you had symptoms, or just because you
no, because I was
to,
doing some shows here and there. I was doing
Oh,
things.
right.
I was like, I don't want to do a show if I want. It's my way of saying if I have it, I shouldn't be doing shows. But so I mean, I got like 25 tests or 30 tests, and they send me one of those. This is not a bill every time. I don't think I was charged for any of them though.
Huh.
I got a test. I did a gig, and then, my wife was pregnant, so I got a test, like a rapid test, right when I got home, and then we waited a couple days, whatever. And I paid out of pocket because my insurance wouldn't cover the rapid test. They would only cover
the rapid is a little
But
more.
then, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I got a check for the difference for the test.
Good, man. Yeah,
Just out of nowhere. I would have never thought I was gonna get, you know what I mean? Never asked for it, never filled out any paperwork, but they just mailed me a check for like $100 or whatever.
That must have been something where they're like, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
anything COVID related, you're paying."
Yeah, I think there was one of those bills they passed or something, but
Oh, good, man.
yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. Got $100.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You
Buy
upgrade
a lot
buy
of ding
some,
dongs with that.
Yeah, a lot of Star Crunches.
Ding dongs and Fiji, baby, or not Fiji. What am I drinking?
Evian is what I'd
Evian. Ding
Well, I
dongs
mean,
and
you're
Evian.
maybe for you an entry level like an Ozark or a Ice Mountain.
That would be great as you're a sommelier at 7-Eleven with water, and you judge people, and they go for the Evian. It's like, hey, if I were you, I might start with the glacier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, great. Do you have anything else you need backup on? Do you have another area? or?
I don't know if I need. Yeah. So I watched all of the show Ozark.
Mhm.
Yep.
The whole thing, all episodes, and I don't think it's that good. I which
Right?
Interesting.
would be stupid to say you watch the whole thing. So there's something good. There's good acting in it and everything, but it's just like there's this trend of TV. I don't know. It's too much bad stuff. It's just awful characters doing awful things to each other, making awful choices, and having awful outcomes. You know, it's and I know that makes for. There's a line, I think, somewhere for me personally, and Ozark. I'm like, I don't certainly don't feel good for having watched that.
No, I could, this is great. I could not be backing you up more on this because it's this obsession.
Man.
It's this obsession with raising the stakes. Everybody, you could just hear them say that in the room, writing room or whatever. It's like, how do we got to put them through the ringer. We got to raise the stakes. We got to make it more. And the part of Ozarks I like is when he's just running the con, making some money, having a good time on the lake.
Yeah, man.
I could do 3 seasons of just that. They're hanging out,
Me
having
too,
parties,
man.
And then the rednecks. Ooh, maybe they're doing some drugs. Okay, that's a little rough. Whatever.
Man,
Yeah. Just can they just chill? I like the success part. There's so many movies where like you'll catch it on TNT or whatever. And I'll watch the good part. I'll watch when the 20 minutes when things are going good, and then I'm like, I don't need to.
Oh yeah,
rest of
like Casino when they're flying high for like.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, I don't really need to see the outcome.
Yeah, like Goodfellas. Like once he gets into the cocaine, it's like I don't need to watch the end.
No, it's
like,
I and I watch it, so I guess you could argue that there's something about it that's good. But I don't know where the fine line. I like a lot of Sorkin stuff, man. So I rewatched all the West Wing during a lot of episodes during the pandemic. Which I don't know if you guys are like. I think we've all at one time or another said, hey. At one time or another, we're like, hey, if I had more time, I would accomplish this. And it turns out that I wouldn't. I have had a lot of time, and I rewatched all of West Wing. But I love that. It's just it's somewhat. I mean, and it's not
right.
It's really good writing. It's and like good, bad things happen to the characters, but it's not like just awful people and every,
Yes.
Yeah.
I like what you said there though about we thought about what we'd do if we had unlimited time, and you've literally started a podcast dedicated to solving crossword puzzles with your time. And so you do every puzzle, and I can't remember which day it was, but one of the clues was puzzle solver, what you do solving, and the answer was pastime. It was that was this past week.
That was this past. Yeah.
So that's I felt I had come up with a lot of other guesses to that before I got to pastime, because I was like, oh, it's making me smarter, it's making me more interesting, well-rounded. Like, no, this is just wasting time. What you're doing right now. I was a little insulted by it.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
I thought I would get a lot done if I had a lot of free time until I started working cruise ships, and I realized, even when I have 23 hours to myself every day for 2 weeks, I will play this instead of doing anything.
I've done some cruise ships too. That's where I met Andrew actually, and I didn't always get a lot of things done there either. But like. On those things, I can get something. Like if I'm on the road, there's a rhythm to the. Like if I can write in the morning and exercise and listen to my set, and do a show, that's a day. That's enough of a day, right? I mean,
that's a productive day.
That's a good. That's a productive
now,
day.
But that right there that's probably 5 hours if that's most.
It's asking a lot. But the that I was just going to ask that, because like, what is the ideal amount of free time to be productive? Because I do think there's something about having 23 hours of of just isolation to where it's like paralyzing, or this pandemic.
It's counterproductive.
At first, I think I've been pretty productive in this last part, but the first part, I definitely was like paralyzed with like too much free time at home. And like there is some perfect window of like 3 hours or something where you have 3 hours every day to do stuff. I think that's what it is for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got kids, so it's a whole different thing. But it's if I can get writing done in the morning and some sort of working out, that pretty much covers it. I mean, I find it, if there's a show, it just makes everything else sort of fall in place for me. Even if it's a show next week, but when it's like,
right,
there's no show, I just like, man, that was that like sort of April through June time. I was like, what's this? I don't know what's going on here. I started like
sort of like
5 or 6 projects and none of them got finished.
The abyss or whatever, because the show is like the anchor to your day or your week or whatever. It's like I build everything out from that. Like even I would feel productive if I had a show like at 8, first shows at 8 or something. I'd go, I'm going to get there like at 6:30 and order dinner and then sit in the green room and write my set list out and maybe work on a few jokes or listen. And then everything was like leading up to that, like you said.
Right.
And without that, it was a little bit of a scramble drill there for a while to figure out what I'm supposed to do all the day.
Yeah.
A lot of masturbating.
That's your new anchor. That's where you're like, I
right,
build out from there.
That's what Johnny calls the show. That's
right. That's the big show. The early show and the late show. Bunch of drunks at the late show last night. All right. Well, thank you so much, Greg. This was
it's really good to
fun.
see you guys, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man.
You too.
Yeah.
Miss you, buddy. It was really
I miss
fun
you guys, man.
when we got to work together and
let's
listen
do it again
to the
sometime.
One Down podcast. We talked a lot of crosswords on here, so if it's piqued your interest or if you already listen to do crosswords, check out Greg's podcast. Do you have anything else you want to plug? Do you have any real life shows?
I have a special on Amazon called Where the Field Corn Grows.
Check it out. It is hilarious. I remember when you were working on that.
Yeah, we were working together like about a month before I was shooting it, and some of the jokes weren't. I was like losing confidence in a couple.
I know, it was so stupid though, because like there's all these tourists out of Miami or wherever we were, and then
it's on a cruise ship.
And then Greg's doing all these farming jokes. He's like, I don't know, they're not flying so well. I was like, Greg, you're overthinking this. These people don't even know where corn comes from. They think it comes. There's like corn trees or something. They don't know. Check that out. And thanks for listening, everybody. Remember, leave a 5-star review and a comment on what you need backup on in your life, and we'll talk about it on the show.
If we don't start getting some 5-star reviews, we're going to have to accept 4-star reviews.
No, God.
Wow.
Bronze
but we're
level.
not there yet. We're not there yet.
You're not there.
We're on the bronze.
5-star podcast for sure.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
thanks, Greg.